Trump is a kind of corporation in human form. He's got none of the usual moral checks and balances which a human being has. He's got none of the common interests which a human being tends to have. Instead, he's just got the corporate interests. How can I maximize my profits? How can I maximize my brand? How can I maximize my profile? And so when powerful people say to him, we want out of Paris, he says, fine, we'll get out of Paris. My fellow corporations are telling me that their bottom line is affected by climate change agreements, so let's get rid of the climate change agreements. Let's release Exxon and the coal companies and the tar sands drillers and all the rest of it. Let's release all of them from these unnecessary constraints. I mean, what are they for anyway? To save people? Who cares? Who cares about people? I don't care about people, I'm a corporation. There's no aspect of our civilization that is not threatened by climate change. I mean, we're already seeing its huge impacts on the natural world. The Great Barrier Reef, one of the most astonishing wonders of the living world, and we are turning it just to mush. This is going to come closer and closer to home. You know, one of the great paradoxes of climate change is that basically it's the rich what gets the pleasure, it's the poor what bear the pain, but no one is immune from this. 4 degrees centigrade separates us from the last ice age. 4 degrees is what we could be looking at this century. Climate change isn't an accident of the system. Climate change is the product of the system. And the pollution paradox runs like this. The companies and very rich people with the most antisocial habits can't win by persuading people we want a worse planet to live in. You're not going to win elections that way, so you have to buy elections instead. So you spend millions and millions of pounds or dollars on buying MPs, on buying political parties, on buying Congress people in order to swing that result. And therefore, the dirty money comes to dominate politics. That's the pollution paradox. And that's the problem that we face in every single sector we try to confront. We're all trapped in this urge, splurge, purge cycle of consumerism, where they can sell you a snow sauna, where with the flick of a switch you get, in this room, you get snow coming down. Seriously, these are real products. They sell you wigs for babies. An iPotty, so that children can play on their iPhone while they're on the potty. They'll sell you a watermelon cooler on wheels, so you can take this refrigerated watermelon with you on picnics. This is a sort of fabulous, ingenious junk which is being produced in order to construct desire. All that junk has a cost, a monumental cost, a cost which is completely disproportionate to any possible benefit that we might get from it. When we're constantly told we don't have enough, however much we might have, we find ourselves in this hedonic treadmill, this joyless hedonism, where we're constantly running to stay in the same place, lured on by advertising, by marketing, by celebrities whose whole purpose is basically to sell us stuff, and driven on so that we lose ourselves as well as losing our prosperity and our futures. I think you could say 2 different things about the global response to climate change. One is that the response of the nation states has been pathetic. But on the other hand, you've got this amazing mass movement of people who are trying to stop fracking, who are trying to stop open cast coal mining, who are trying to stop the tar sands, who are trying to stop the entire destructive industry which is literally putting a match to our futures. The key thing we need almost everywhere is a change of government. We're currently governed by a psychopathic class who don't share our interests, who in fact don't seem to share human interests in general. What appeared to be hopeless situations actually are not hopeless at all. All you need to do is to imagine a better future and then put that imagination into practice. Political failure is at heart a failure of imagination. It's a failure to see what can be done when very large numbers of people mobilize, what can be done when you don't leave politics to the politicians alone. And what we saw with Corbyn's near miss and with Sanders' near miss for the Democratic nomination, both of whom came from a position which was considered laughable before their campaigns begun, where they were completely written off as being total outsiders and no-hopers, and both very nearly clinched it. We've had just an inkling of the potential that could be unleashed.